moving forward, and today we also heard the truth that media literacy and information literacy is crucial competency in the 21st century. So, in this conference, we will be able to hear a person who is the first on the front row of where media literacy is being learned and taught. Zane Oliņa, Implementing Director of School2030 curriculum from the State Center for Education. And Zane is ready to talk about media and information literacy as a competency, as a skill, which has to be transversal in all our education. Hello, and thank you for an opportunity to speak today. As I know that my time is limited, I will not be able to tell everything, but basically I will be speaking about education system and in the middle school and until the end of the middle school, how this program is implemented. We have developed a new content for education. In 2018 and 2019, government also adopted new education standards. This is the first year where we are implementing this new content. And one thing I would like to say is that media literacy is already included in the curriculum and the document of contents of the education. There we see the result-oriented approach, and this is the aspect of each school child, and how we want to see our school children who finish the school, what we want them to know. It is a person who is involved in and also creates their own conclusions independently, and they are also independently participating in multilingual and multicultural society. Further on, there are three dimensions which intertwine together with the activity of person. If it is intertwined with activity, then we are talking about the skills already. And these are 7 areas of education, 7 topics related to media literacy. And language skills, Latvian language topic is one of the largest, with the largest content regarding media literacy, and they can achieve the most. The second aspect, where the biggest time is devoted to media literacy, is social and society topic and subject, and history of society. And there, thinking how the technology works and how with the help of technologies we can access and create new content. Also, very important aspect is these transversal aspects. These are 3 main groups, which in total, as a media literacy skills, they form these skills. This is problem solving and identifying, which we use also in other contexts of our lives. Then it is the skill of cooperation, where it is how we can read the context, how we analyze another person's or somebody who is broadcasting or providing us with information. And the third is digital literacy, subject which is related to how we experience content and digital content, and how we also create the content ourselves. Very briefly, several illustrations, because the objectives to reach, there are many, but speaking about particular objectives, also with these transversal skills, is the 9th grade, when school children finish it, they need to be able to identify objective information, also the conclusions of a particular person, critically to analyze this reality of what is created by the media. With digital literacy, we go deeper into the topic. In schools, also, they should work more with media literacy issues. If you're talking about Latvian language, then until 9th grade, the school children need to obtain experience and work with a lot of information resources and texts. They need to evaluate how truthful they are, and also gradually they can conclude and how to create their own objective information. And one of the 4 directions in high school, as in Latvia, there's this optimal level to which they are learning this. Then media, language and impact, these are these big groups in the module where school children spend 1/4 of the time learning Latvian language in high school. How social and mass media construct the reality and impact the environment, and what are the language tools used, and how school children can deconstruct the manipulation techniques. And this module is also revealed more in detail. Currently I will not be devoting more time to this, but school children there learn to identify hate speech and defamation, etc. And talking about this social science topic, then if the language works with the text, it is the conversation about the context. Then in social science approach is more to understand why this information came to me, why now, like why am I being targeted, what are those reasons, and to understand more deeply how important is media in democratic society. So to understand also what is going on with that media, that particular media, not only in the positive sense, always. So here, the objective for high school children is to learn the criteria of analyzing the information, to analyze very concretely the content of media, various leaders, what kind of tools and techniques they use. The reachable results for content we have defined, and the question now is how this content is going to go to and reach each and every school child. And here I see 3 larger challenges and also solutions we need to think about and talk about, and I am very happy to hear also previous speakers that a lot has already been done regarding these issues. One of the things is development and improvement of curriculum, accentuate differently how school children gain knowledge and what they do in the educational process, how they get involved and how they need to search for information themselves, where media literacy is in the very center of this focus. Because you cannot learn media literacy in a classroom where there is no discussion, there is no argumentation, where we face different opinions. This is both a barrier and also an opportunity for us to learn how to teach media literacy more successfully, as it is not yet implemented in all the classrooms and all curriculums. I would say that the main objective for media literacy is school and preparation of schools and the teachers, educators, as one of the most important objectives for curriculum development, because again, there are 3 layers. For each layer, there is a different approach needed. One is the habits of media consumption of the educators themselves, so meaning how media literate they are themselves, how they further can communicate this to school children. The second, how we see how important is this objective, Is it as important for us to reschedule our training and classes, because it actually, there is a lot of time necessary for this content, and how to integrate it into our flow. And the third layer is also how important is that this question becomes the question of cooperation on the school level, because the teachers of Latvian language on their own cannot teach this to school children. So the cooperation between the teachers and educators is necessary. What kind of information resources we use also in our everyday life and throughout all the curriculum. How do we develop the habit of a school child to be a quality media consumer? This is a very important question. Another thing is currently, and as previous speakers also noted, what kind of materials are now available for this basic skill development. For example, how to identify disinformation, fake news article or material. And there's a lot of materials that teach this. We also prepared videos and other materials. We offer this for educators. We offer methodological materials, so we are also trying to raise awareness on the techniques and methods how to work with critical thinking development of school children in the context of media literacy. This is from what we need to do further. We need to offer the materials to school children who are researching this material in more detail and this topic, because currently the materials available are only touching upon the very top of the iceberg, and it is very important to develop media role in democratic society materials regarding this topic. We have municipality news sources, and there are so many various news sources which influence our lives, how they influence our lives. So school children need to understand what they're going to consume and how and why. It is important to understand that school children are there in school developing the techniques and skills which they are going to use for the rest of their lives. We need to understand that they need access to digital platforms where there is now the periodics available, because the teachers need to use texts which are created now, which are very topical. So also these deeper, more those research materials. And I think that we can solve this here with this audience. Also, another thing is that we take it seriously. It's not just, I will tell you something, I will tell you a little bit about this topic. No, these materials need to be of high quality, very deep, with as high quality level as we are, for example, building and developing entertainment programs for young children. And at the end, I want to say that a teacher, on their own, they cannot be the one to work on the topic and fight this, because this is creation of habits of consuming the media and information. So this is in their family, with other grown-ups, which children also observe, because they do what we do. They don't do what we tell them to. So it is very important for us to have a discussion in such forum like today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Zane Oliņa, Implementing Director of School2030 Curriculum, the State Center for Education. And here we saw great examples what have already been implemented